Tropical Depression Jenny has crossed Luzon's landmass, but class suspensions and the tropical cyclone wind signals are still up in some areas. President Duterte leads the distribution of farmland to agrarian reform beneficiaries, including those in Hacienda Luisita. But the chief executive clarifies he has no bad blood against the Aquino family. Speaking of Duterte, the president issues another warning. But well, what about exactly?
In the coming months, it will be not really bloody, but there will be at least a little trouble.
The government will release 187 million pesos to address the spike in swine deaths. In relation to this, Quezon City will be closing down some piggeries in the area. And after 3 years, F2 Logistics reclaims the PSL All-Filipino Championship title. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of August 28, Wednesday. I'm Riza Diaz. Jumpstarting today's rush with several parts of Luzon declaring class suspensions due to bad weather. Classes in all levels are suspended in the provinces of Ilocos Norte and Ilocos Sur. Work in government offices are also suspended in the two provinces. Classes are also suspended in all levels in Bataan, Isabela, Pampanga, Pangasinan, and Quirino. Likewise in Nueva Vizcaya and Tarlac, where government offices will also be closed. Classes in all levels and work at government offices are also suspended today in Casiguran, Aurora, and San Fernando, La Union. San Mateo and Rodriguez in Rizal also have no classes in all levels today. Now, some towns in Abra also declared class suspensions in all levels. These include Dolores, Bangged, Bolinay, Likuan Baay, Luba, Malibcong, Peña Rubia, and Lagayan. Now, same goes for Bocod, Itogon, and Mancayan, Benguet. Plus Masinloc, Palawig, and Subic in Zambales. Now, over in Bulacan, classes in all levels are suspended in the following areas: Kalumpit, Bocaue, Nosagaray, Hagonoy, and Plaridel. Also in the towns of Gimba, Santo Domingo, Gabaldon, and Santa Rosa in Nueva Ecija. Meanwhile, only preschool to senior high school students have no classes in Baguio and Tublay in Benguet, Calanasan, Apayao, and the entire province of Cagayan and Tabuk, Kalinga. Classes in preschool to elementary are suspended today in Langiden, Abra, and the rest of Benguet. Signal number 1 is still up in some areas due to Tropical Depression Jenny. Remember, if the local government has not yet announced any class suspensions, classes are automatically suspended in preschool level in these areas. Signal number 1 was hoisted in Abra, Apayao, Aurora, Benguet, Bulacan, Cagayan, Ifugao, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, and Isabela. Same goes for the entire provinces of Kalinga, La Union, Mountain Province, and the northern portion of Quezon, including Polillo Islands. Likewise in Nueva Ecija, Nueva Vizcaya, Pampanga, Pangasinan, Quirino, Tarlac, and Zambales. The eye of Jenny is now out of Luzon's landmass, but the tropical depression continues to bring rain over the northern part of the country. Now, to give us the latest on today's weather, we have with us on the line Mr. Benny Estareja from the Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Benny, good morning.
Good morning, Risa, and to all our viewers.
Benny, can you give us an update on the location of Jenny?
Yes, as of 4 in the morning, the center of Tropical Depression Jenny was estimated at 125 kilometers northwest of Dagupan City, Pangasinan, and it's over the west of Philippine Sea. The maximum winds is 55 kilometers per hour near the center, and it has gustiness of up to 85 kilometers per hour. It is currently moving west-northwest at a speed of 35 kilometers per hour. And based on its direction and movement, it may exit our Philippine area of responsibility this afternoon or evening. Signal number 1 is still raised over parts of Luzon, and expect up to 60 kilometers per hour wind gusts and at times heavy rains. Between this morning and this afternoon, light to moderate with frequent heavy rains will still be experienced over Ilocos Region, Cordillera, Cagayan, including Babuyan Group of Islands, Isabela, Quirino, and Nueva Vizcaya, while light to moderate with intermittent heavy rains will be experienced over Central Luzon, Western Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Mindoro provinces, and Palawan.
Benny, with the Jenny moving out of the Philippine area of responsibility, is it pulling the habagat?
Yes, as a consequence of Jenny over West Philippine Sea, we have habagat or southwest monsoon picking up over not only the western section of Luzon but even western Visayas. So expect by today, by this afternoon up until tomorrow afternoon, there will be intermittent heavy rains due to southwest monsoon over western Visayas, Mindoro provinces, northern portion of Palawan, Zambales, and Bataan.
Benny, apart from Jenny that we are monitoring, are there other weather disturbances?
We have cloud clusters over here in the eastern section of Visayas, and it's still not considered a low pressure area, but we're still monitoring this cloud clusters.
Thank you. That was Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. Moving on to other headlines. Even with a whole continent in between, Iceland did not escape President Duterte's ire. Now, out of the blue, Duterte again called the Western country the one without any regard for human rights. Jenny Dongan will tell us more.
Out of nowhere, President Duterte lambasted Iceland again over its role in pushing for the United Nations resolution, calling for a probe into his administration's war on drugs.
Itong mga Iceland, palimbasa, ice ang kain. Wala namang tubig yan eh. Bobo ang mga na niya. Kawalang hiya itong mga puti talaga. Tapos tinuturuan ako kung ano ang gawin ko. I am sorry for you. That's why you are condemned there in the ice forever. I hope you will freeze in time.
This is not the first time the president slammed a Western country over alleged intrusion into the country's internal affairs. During his speech at the awarding ceremony of land reform titles on Tuesday, Duterte turned the tables on Iceland, saying they are the ones violating human rights.
Do you know that in Iceland, they allow abortion up to 6 months? Iceland allows the slaughter of the fetus inside the womb of the mother up to 6 months. Nila. They worry more of the drug lords at itong mga who are pushing drugs, killing our citizens.
With this, Duterte reiterated his stance against abortion.
Abortion is out of the question. I will not allow it.
Instead, the president wants family planning reinstituted.
How to get it started and, get it rolling beginning at least in the next 3 years. Yang ibalik ninyo yung family planning. I know of only 2 guys, presidents, who did it. And it was Ramos, who was a Protestant, and ako, na talagang pinipilit ko sa aking syudad ang land reform.
And as for possible opposition from the Catholic Church, Duterte says family planning is more a practical solution to managing population than a religious issue.
Do not place too much importance about religion. Tutok ka lang sa Diyos. When you are in a monal quandary, do not go to your religion. It cannot help you. Maniwala kayo. At 74 years old, I'm telling you, you go direct to your God and pray and ask for guidance, especially in matters of yung kasalanan yung mag-family planning.
For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
While the president let out steam against Iceland, Duterte says he bears no ill feelings toward the Aquinos. Now, in the same event, the government distributed over 70,000 hectares of agricultural land to farmers as part of the 31st anniversary of the comprehensive Agrarian reform program. Included in the land being awarded are 112 hectares of the Hacienda Luisita, which is a known property of the Cojuangco clan. Duterte said, called the late President Cory Aquino the best available figure there was during that time. However, he says the same can't be said about her move to push for land reform while excluding one of their family's well-known assets.
I'd like to state very clearly that I have nothing against the Aquino family. Yung dalawang presidente, pati ang pamilya. I'd like to put it in record that for the first two Aquino presidents, sumuporta po kami, ang pamilya namin sa Davao. Because we believed in Corazon Aquino, and I happened also to just the best that was available during at that time. The greatest aberration sa land reform was the Philippines was declared the whole of the country as a land reform program area, pero tinanggal nila ang Doña Luisita.
The chief executive also warned that so-called land rewards are being used by communist rebels to lure farmers into joining their group. Duterte says there have already been reports of the incident in Negros and some areas in central Luzon. As a result, he says the government must strengthen its land reform program to prevent similar cases from happening.
So, bantay kayo dyan, ng Negros na yan, kunin mo ang initiative sa komunista. What they are really parlaying is land. Hindi unahan na natin. Kaibigay na natin. Kasabi ko naman sa lahat, magkaibigan tayo. Kayong mga komunista, baka akala ko kayo lang ang marunong. Even if you did not exist, land reform would still be the program of any government dito sa Pilipinas. Totoo yan. Because even without the element of violence and armed struggle, dadating talaga ang panahon that you have to equitably distribute the land to the people.
The president also issued a stern warning to the public yet again, similar to his statement of doing something drastic to quell violence in some parts of the country. Earlier this month, Malacanang said Duterte may opt to use his emergency powers to put a stop to the spate of killings in Negros. Now, the president has since cleared that he will not declare martial law, but would do what it takes to maintain law and order in the country and to completely eradicate illegal drugs before his term ends.
It has to be now. And I'm serving notice to everybody that in the coming months, it will be not really bloody, but there will be at least a little trouble for our country. We have to finish it, pati droga. And this will make us a magnet for all criticisms that are there waiting for us to do and commit a wrong.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. Cebu City Vice Mayor Michael Rama is questioning the order of his superior, Mayor Edgardo Labella, creating the Sinulog Governing Board. Rama says the move was done without his knowledge, considering he leads an already existing foundation which oversees preparations for the Sinulog Festival. Now, the city vice mayor says another group tasked to organize the festival would be redundant and could lead to questionable fund distribution or sharing if it comes to that. The Freeman reports that Labella is out of the country and cannot be reached for comment as of the moment. Filipino Star ngayon reports that Quezon City's veterinary office has threatened to shut down the piggeries in the area. That's because of the spike of hog deaths in the nearby city of Rodriguez Rizal. QC piggeries now only have until February next year to relocate or sell their hogs to prevent them from getting contaminated with the still unknown disease. And this from the Philippine Star. Hog raisers who are affected by the recent spike in swine deaths may soon receive some good news. That's because the Budget Department is set to release 187 million pesos to address this concern. A portion of the budget will serve as compensation for affected hog raisers, while the rest will be used to develop diagnostic kits for surveillance. Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. A different F2 Logistics entered Game 2 as they dominated the match and defeated Cignal HD in only 3 sets. Sweeping the best-of-3 finals to win the PSL All-Filipino Conference Championship last night, F2 vowed the results of the Saturday's game won't happen again. It was Kaleimao's first final stint, but she proved to be unstoppable in the final series and was named MVP of the conference. Mao led the team in Game 2 with 19 points built on 17 kills, a block, and an ace. Meanwhile, Kiana D added 13 points built on 9 kills and made 4 blocks, and Majoy Baron and Ara Galang added 6 markers each. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.